well,
over the next
the
few
projected
years.
figures are sort of hinting at 10,000 within the lifetime of the next island plan.
I don't think it'll be 10,000. I don't know the numbers yet. I don't think it'll be 10,000, but I do think that there is the potential to deliver in the low thousands out of the urban areas. And we can see that coming. And if you look at Castle Keys, for example, phase one was approved with 350 odd apartments. The Esplanade Quarter, if it goes ahead, will have nearly 400 apartments. Castle Keys 2 will be probably 4 to 500 apartments. And I know of numerous other schemes delivering apartments and townhouses now that are in the hundreds in total. So I think we do have the potential of producing a regenerated, high quality urban offering.
But to make an impact without, if you're not building almost entirely on the water, on reclaimed land, which has obviously got earmarked for other things, if you're building in already described urban areas, you're going to have to flatten an awful lot of accommodation.
You're certainly going to have to do a lot of site assembly, there's no question about that. And you're going to have to deal very carefully with the issues of listed buildings, because very often you have pepper-potted listed buildings and they have to be carefully treated. But yes, it will involve significant redevelopment. We've got one that I'm considering on Friday, which is the redevelopment of the Wesley Chapel building that caught fire last year. That has the potential to deliver again a significant number of high quality apartment units for single people.
Once again, in an area with no actual amenities going on in that area, apart from hard landscape amenities, no soft park, nothing of that sort.
Well, there will be, because we're committed to a new town park, and the town park has got to happen. The funding's there, it will happen.
But it depends upon the succession of other things being done.
No, the town park is funded, it will happen, and it's not dependent on anything else. The money is allocated for a town park.
But the cars have to go somewhere else, and that's where the problem arises, because the cars have got to go into the middle of
the interrelationship between the motor car and urban dwelling is a natural and very significant tension. And if we are going to develop our urban areas to be attractive, desirable places to live, we've got to design them around people, not around motor cars.
You were a developer for some years before I became a planner. Are there any properties that you've developed which you'd say set the standard for what we're talking about here?
I developed a number of sites that I'm very proud of, particularly countryside developments. They were usually not greenfield sites developments. In fact, I didn't do any greenfield site developments. They were usually the conversion of redundant agricultural buildings. There's some that I would say set the standard for quality of construction and local relevance, but I've never developed anything in an urban area that's large enough to warrant the traffic solutions that I think we now need.
Because every urban development is stymied, for want of a better expression, by the existing road pattern. This is everything, because you might get two sites redeveloped, but the road pattern stays the same, because you can't tear up the road just for the two-room sites.
No, you can't. But that doesn't mean you can't provide better solutions for transportation around the town. And at the moment, we are not addressing that because we don't have free funds to deal with it. But we need to consider more radical solutions to public transportation. You're not, it's very simple. You're not going to get people to use public transportation as their primary choice mechanism of transport until you provide public transportation system that takes them from where they want to go to where they want to go at the time they want to go at an affordable price in comfort. And until you are able to provide that, all the other grand ideas of reducing traffic issues will come to absolutely nothing.
Just final question from a planner's point of view, planner's perspective, one who wants to solve the problem, assuming you want to solve the problem, is the idea of a downturn in the economy more attractive than continued growth, in so far as, for example, there are 10,000 or so people without housing qualifications, and they've been with us an awful long time. But if there's a turn down in the economy, perhaps half of those will disappear, and therefore others will disappear. Perhaps the demands upon you as planners will become less, and your task might be easier. Is that a prospect which would appeal to you?
No, because I have a particular interest in planning. My interest in planning, and the reason I wanted this job, is to improve the standards of architecture in the island. The standards of architecture are only improvable in positive, vibrant economic times. When you have significant economic downturns, value engineering and cost reduction become the primary issues. And I'm concerned that it's going to be very difficult to sustain a requirement for such high quality architecture if we have an extended downturn. So I'm certainly not happy about experiencing a downturn at the moment.
Thank you much indeed.